What's going on, you guys? Mo Awesome here from Awesome MTB. How are you guys doing? Before we get into today's video, I feel like it's important we check in with you guys. Are you guys having a good day or good week? Or not really sure when this video is gonna go up, but for those of you confused at what this big Sasquatch tie-dye shirt looking person is doing in front of you, my name is Mo. Me and my fiance Hannah live in a van full-time. We have a YouTube channel. It's the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. So if you want some adventure, definitely consider subscribing. But we are here in Whistler, British Columbia, and today I'm really excited because I have the brand new Specialized Enduro S-Works Edition bike to test out, review, and give you guys my feedback on it. So really pumped because when this bike came out about 2 days ago, I was frothing. It looked so rad, it looked aggressive, it looked mean. So really happy that everything worked out and we have a chance to test this bike out and give you our feedback. So one of the reasons I'm really excited to try this bike is because we did review the Stump Jumper early in the year. I'll link that video right here. And that was a really fun bike as well. I thought it was very precise. The suspension definitely felt active to where I felt like the bike was planted to the ground, but it really just kind of, you could put it exactly where you wanted it to. And I thought that bike, even though it was really fun, what I would probably prefer for like bigger, rowdier descents was something with just a little bit more travel, a little bit burlier, and that's when this Enduro comes in. So right off the bat, it's 170 millimeters of travel combined with big 29-inch wheels. So you know this thing is gonna be a blast on the downhills. I do want to address the elephant in the room early on right now. Yes, this bike probably, I think, retails for around $10,000. I'll put the actual price right here. With that being said, do I think that you need the $10,000 one? Absolutely not. In fact, I also probably would change a few things on this bike to bring down that price point quite a bit. And I also think it would actually maybe even help out the bike as well. So I'll address those later in the video. But yeah, so let's talk about the build and how this thing is kitted out before we hit a trail called Golden Boner. Once again, I know I'm gonna get those awkward comments about me and Hannah riding a trail called Golden Boner, but as for the build, we have a Fox 36 up front. In the rear, it's paired with the Fox X2. I will point something out right away. The lockout on the X2 and the way it's set up here is slightly awkward. The lockout's on the left side, so not only do you have to bend down pretty far to lock that thing out, but you have to do it from the other side as well. So just kind of want to mention that because we did feel that on the climb up here. Another thing this bike is equipped with is actually an electronic dropper post. So it's the new Reverb, the electronic version. So that's a really cool thing to test out. It is paired with Shimano XTR 1x12 drivetrain. So you have the big 51 tooth on there because they have to try and one-up SRAM. And yeah, overall, very impressed with this build. Excited to take it down this trail, see how it performs over really chunky stuff, and see if it stays true to the Specialized name and just kind of the quality products that we've tested from them in the past. So I'm excited to put it through the ringer. We're gonna bring you guys along, and yeah, let's rip Golden Boner. Don't take that the wrong way.
One more thing. Yeah, we're getting eaten alive by these flies.
We really are.
So if you could just hit that like button, it would make us feel so much better.
All right, so this is the beginning of Golden Boner. You guys get creative with your comments too. I want to see some funny ones. Oh yeah, this thing is definitely flashed out. Woo! Alright. Oh man, this thing is so rad.
It's really stable, huh?
Yeah, it's super stable. Woo. Oh, it is definitely loose here. Whoa, Hannah.
That's definitely not the trail.
Following Hannah down the chunk. Oh, Hannah's getting rowdy. But when is Hannah not getting rowdy? That's the question. She has progressed so much in our time here in Whistler. Woo. Making her way down. Very active suspension design, which is nice. Yeah. Woo. Now for the burly stuff. Gonna get really nice, loose. Oh, Hannah is out of control down there. I'm a huge fan of this reach here. Oh wow. No, you can roll it. Oh, it is burly though. Woo. Oh, now it's getting nice and steep. We're gonna be able to test out just how stable this bike wants to be. Oh, wow. Oh man, that thing is rad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God. Good job, Hannah. Whoa. I will say, I feel like I have a little bit more confidence on this than the high tower that we demoed earlier on in the week. I mean, granted, they are two completely different bikes. Oh, nice, interesting line choice, Hannah. Sometimes Hannah takes the scariest lines. It gets a little crazy following her. Woo! Making our way down. Yeah, Hannah. Oh, Hannah's taking everything out. Oh. This trail really is beat up. EWS, as much as I love following you, man, that is hard on the trails for sure. Can only imagine how mad the locals are. Oh, now you're fine. Oh, I'm standing up in the wrong gear, and the bike is doing really well out of the saddle climbing, especially for 170 millimeters of travel. I'm blown away by this thing. Man, you know, I'm gonna keep going. I'm having too much fun. Yeah, Hannah, making our way down this. Woo! I will say, the rear end of this bike, pedaling, you almost feel like the chain stays a little longer than you think. But then you start descending, and the chain stay is not that bad. So I'm curious what that is on paper. I'll put it up right on the screen. But very manageable bike. Woo. Woo. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Hannah. They said that was the easier way. No, that was the harder way. That was definitely a rowdy time. Trying to keep up with the queue. Oh, this thing is so fun. I'm loving it. Whew. Whoa, roots, no problem. Take this high line into here. Oh, this bike just tracks so well in the corners. Very balanced geo, I will say that. Oh, that was freaking insane.
That trail is so blown up. Like, I don't know if it's gonna come out in the GoPro because of the GoPro effect, but that was sketchy. But this bike is really stable. So.
Yeah, I definitely, I have to agree with Hannah. This thing is so much fun. It literally, like, in the corners, I think is where it really shined. It just felt like it held on and tracked so well. So, man, I definitely want to put this thing through a couple more laps. Maybe in the bike park. I feel like that's where it will shine. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that ride. I definitely enjoyed that new Specialized Enduro 29. Specialized definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. So I feel like the Specialized Enduro blew me away when it came to climbing, which is what I'm going to start off with. It was definitely a very efficient pedaler, both in and out of the saddle. However, where I am going to knock a few points was the seated pedaling position. So I'm going to make a lot of references to the Santa Cruz Mega Tower because that was a bike that we demoed earlier this year, and I feel like the Mega Tower and the Enduro 29 are going to be two bikes that people are gonna compare and try to make a decision between. So I did feel like with the Santa Cruz Mega Tower, the seated in the bike pedaling position, so when you're seated on a long climb, felt a little bit more comfortable than the Enduro 29. The Enduro 29, I did have to essentially slam my seat forward just to kind of get on top of the bottom bracket. So not sure what that seat angle is. I'll put the geo chart right here, but it did feel a little slacker than the Mega Tower. So that's kind of like in between the Enduro and the Mega Tower. Mega Tower, a little bit better pedaler while seated. However, both bikes I feel like pedal really well out of the saddle. By the time I got to the top of the hill, that was when it was time to go down. And this is where I think I'm gonna take a quick break and talk about sizing. So the Enduro that I was riding was the S5, not an extra large, because Specialized apparently is trying to stray away from the normal sizing chart. I did try to talk to them, figure out what this whole new, I think they're calling it S3 sizing. It's style specific sizing. And I was trying to kind of get the, essentially why they were straying away from the XL, large, medium. I might butcher this, maybe this is, I interpret it wrong, but essentially to me what it sounds like is they're tired of people almost fixated on the fact that they're a medium or they're a large, and they really want people to kind of look at the geo chart. So they came up with the whole S2, S3, S4, S5, and essentially what they're trying to get at is you can fall in between two different sizes. I'm going to refer to medium and large. You can be a medium or a large depending on like how you like your bikes, what your style of riding is. And that's why they're straight towards that S2, S3 kind of sizing chart. So it kind of just sounds like they're trying to stray away from that. Reach will still increase in between sizes, as well as a few other key geo numbers. But I personally was on the S5. It was a proper, I'm going to use the word XL. So it felt very proper as an XL. It felt very similar to the Mega Tower in terms of sizing. So me being on the bike that's a little bit more stable, a little bit more reach, I definitely felt like the stability of the Enduro 29 on the descents was pretty amazing. It felt very similar to the Mega Tower in terms of that high speed straight line stability. However, where I feel like it differed is number one was the active suspension design. I really felt like that bike just glued to the ground, and I was very impressed, especially combined with that X2 in the rear. However, when it came time to corner, that's where I was truly impressed. And what felt like a slightly longer wheelbase when I was seated pedaling on the bike definitely didn't feel that way in the corners. I feel like the rear end was very responsive. It was making those corners nice and tight. And at the same time, I felt like where the Enduro really shined was high speed corners. And it just really loves to kind of hang on to the corner and just really rally out. I felt like I could enter corners a little bit faster than I normally would, and the bike just tracked amazingly well. So I was very impressed with how that Enduro 29 handled rocky, chunky terrain as well as high-speed corners. I would say if anywhere where the Enduro 29 kind of lost a few points in terms of descending was probably the bottom bracket height. I did feel like pedal strikes were an issue. The bottom bracket was pretty low on that thing. Some people might like that. Some people might want a bike that's just going to rally at high speeds. They're not really too concerned with pedal strikes, but for me personally, that was an issue. And I know that bike is spec'd with, I believe, 170 mil cranks. It does kind of make sense when I got on that bike. But yeah, so is the Enduro 29 for everyone? Not necessarily. So 170 millimeters and 29-inch wheels, it's a big bike. And similar to the Mega Tower, I felt like slow speed when you're kind of just cruising around and the trail might not be its gnarliest. The bike doesn't really feel too exciting. And so that's where it's going to come into play is your riding style. If you're a type of rider, you love to get out there and charge and rip, it's going to be a bike that you might want to seriously consider because it'll get you up there very efficiently out of the saddle. You're not going to feel too much bob in that thing. And at the same time, it's a very stable, high-speed descender. And I really feel like it rewards that aggressive rider. Now, a question that a lot of people are probably going to have, and it's probably going to be a hard decision for some of you out there, is do you go with the Enduro 29 or the Santa Cruz Mega Tower? And I think that is actually, man, that's going to be a tough one. And I would probably think it's going to come down to you guys getting out there, getting on both bikes and seeing which one suits your riding style just a tad more. I felt like the Enduro 29 felt a little bit more aggressive at the end of the day and really just rewarded that rider that's going to go full out, flat out there. I felt like the Mega Tower, even though it was very stable and you can do some big gnarly descents on it, did feel like in the saddle it had a little bit more of a comfortable pedaling position, and kind of felt maybe if you're gonna go out for like really big 50-mile plus rides with some gnarly descents, you might have a little bit more of a comfortable time on that. But both bikes, it's such a close call that I don't really think I can make a decision on this one. I will say though that both of them definitely knocked it out of the park. I would probably also look at a few things like price point. Obviously, the elephant in the room was the $10,000 build that we were riding. It was their S-Works version. Do I think that that is a worth it build? Sure, if you have an extra $10,000 and it's not going to hurt the budget too much, but at the same time, I definitely thought that that build might have been a little bit excessive. I actually personally probably would have made that bike a little bit heavier, so I thought the wheels need a little bit more weight, which sounds weird, but what I find is with burlier bikes like that, sometimes if you make them a little too light, you lose a little bit of the aggressive factor of the bike. So I would say they have a build in the $6,000 price point. I would probably seriously consider that spectrum, and I think they might even have a few more affordable options. With the Mega Tower, I think they have the offerings in both the affordable carbon and the expensive carbon, so you have a lot more room to work with your budget in Santa Cruz's lineup. So that's going to be a deciding factor for a lot of people in the Mega Tower Enduro 29 debate. However, I will say I'm a huge fan of this Enduro 29. I love the SWAT system. I love how they have that tool in the headset, and they have the SWAT box so you can store stuff in the frame. I probably would lean the Enduro 29 route. I just felt like the efficiency out of the saddle when you get up and sprint just felt really rad. Both bikes are amazing. I think you guys have to get out there and demo. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Also, what other bikes do you guys want us to review? Let us know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, hit that like button. And until next time, you guys, ride awesome. Ew.